Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. And I hope you enjoyed the Verrazano Bridge presentation and the Brooklyn Our Lady of Angels Church and Barbara Ditmar's residence. Today is still the 26th of March. Look at this unusual cloud activity. It looks like it wants to rain. It hasn't rained. The sun comes out and then goes back and hides behind the clouds and then comes back again. Just amazing. Nice tree, huh? This will be a short video, I can tell you that for sure. I'll even promise on my mom's grave, or my dad's grave, or my grandmother's grave for that matter. And I just happened to be right on location. This is the final resting place of Mom and Dad and Graham, Mrs. Barbara Ditmar, from 7301 4th Avenue. Dad was a fireman in Brooklyn, and he retired. And then he wanted a steady job with weekends off, so he got a job with the Social Security Administration. And he did that for quite some time. They called him a triple dipper in those days, until Ronald Reagan put a stop to that. So he had quite a career, a wonderful career in the fire department. He served in World War II in New Orleans in the medical department. And then he followed the fire department up with a wonderful career with the Social Security Administration. Even had a radio program on Saturday or Sunday mornings, I forget, where he would answer people's questions. Of course, the questions were all made up, and there were never really people asking those questions, but it served to help out anyway. And he was very friendly with the Doubleday Book Company. And they used to give him all sorts of books just for giving them advice on the best time to retire, when the employees would retire and have the best time. He loved hockey, and he liked the Mets, and he liked sports, and he loved to read. And he was something else. Just a good Joe. And he was born in March 13th, 1917. And he passed away on January 10th, 1993, and he was 75. Mom, their birthdays were 2 days apart. Mom was born on March 11th, 1919, and they were 2 years apart in age. And we lost Mom on Cinco de Mayo, May 5th, 1998, and Mom was 79. Graham, as we used to call her, she was born on January 22nd, 1899. She passed away on December 30th, 1991, and she reached the age of 92. And I'm coming to you from Holy Rood Cemetery in Westbury, Long Island, or Westbury, New York. And that was Dad's engine company, 352. And they gave him quite a send-off at the fire department. I remember going there and sliding down the pole. Well, I don't know if I did or not. But he was a reached lieutenant. They used to stuff beer cans in the soda machine until somebody came in, some captain, and put a stop to that. I was always amazed at my mom. She used to be able to read the piece of paper and not look at the keys on the typewriter. I always thought that was pretty skillful, pretty amazing. She was pretty intelligent too. She used to mail letters to the Newsday about, this was before Guantanamo Bay, or Gitmo, or whatever it is. It's way before that. She gave a letter in, and it got published, and she talked about how she thought torture was just completely un-American. So she worked at the Mays department store later on, in the housewares department. And for most of her life at that time, she was a housewife and stayed home. Because in those days, you only had to have one breadwinner. You didn't have to have 20 jobs and everybody working. And Mrs. Ditmar, she worked at the Biltmore Hotel, and in those days you could, I guess, lie about your age because there were no records, and she worked way over time. She worked at the mail desk in the hotel, so she was very pleasant and very sociable with a lot of the guests, and they received their mail and important papers or correspondence. And sometimes when she was off duty and she didn't want to go home and there was an empty room, they should sleep over in the hotel overnight and just go to work the next day. She's the one that told me, it'll never dry in a ball. Hang your towel up, it'll never dry in a ball. And she always had wet hands, and she was always in the sink making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches with wet hands and using ice over again and putting it back in the freezer. She was something else. But my parents were wonderful. We never saw our parents fight at all. I never did. Not even in an argument. They might have been thinking bad thoughts, but they never said bad thoughts. They never said anything derogatory about anybody. And we never saw them quarrel or even raise their voices with one another. It was just a real love affair that was never over. They never gave us guns. There were no guns. There were no toy guns in the house. I know some of you people out there are going, no guns? No guns? What do you mean there were no guns? No guns. If we wanted to play with guns, we had to go down the street and play with Bill Lynn's. He had guns. And we would use his guns, but we didn't have any guns. So it was quite a remarkable, considering all the problems you hear from people. It was just an uneventful, beautiful childhood, and with its normal ups and downs, but certainly it was seamless compared to some of the things you hear. So this is their resting place, all three of them. There won't be any room for anybody else here. 3 is the max, I believe. So I was on my way to see my brother Bruce, and this is on the way. And the car did make it. The car made it, and I always can find this grave. I hadn't been here in quite some time. It's right next to that big tree. See that huge tree right there? And that's how I can find the grave easily. So that's it. I just thought I'd give you a little presentation from the graveside. And Lieutenant Joe, we hate to see you go, but they lived a great life, and they had just a wonderful time. Storybook existence, I guess. So I guess go visit someone today, whether they're alive or deceased. Make somebody's day, but always call first. Gotta call first. Years ago, you could just go there, but now you gotta call first. Yeah, call first. Big engine, big engine. Jeez. All right. Have a good rest of Saturday. And I don't know when this will be uploaded, but I'll put the date, today's date, March 26th, and that means the date that I did it, but that doesn't necessarily mean the date that you'll see it. All right, over and out.